Alright, we're loading into our game. So this map has a giant hill in the middle of it. I believe you mentioned that. Alpine
Yeah,
Ridge.
Alpine Ridge. It's actually this map is actually pretty good for the Greenskins, I think, because they can rush up to their opponent. And imagine if this was the armies we just saw fighting off against each other, the Greenskins wouldn't be shot to pieces like the steam tank coming over this hill, right?
Yeah.
So that can actually play to their advantage.
Alright.
All right.
So, I guess let's start with our wonderful little orc friend.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Rusty Errors, our Regiment of Renown Night Goblins. Them and their little beautiful armor debuff, which I'm told is excellent.
Yep.
4 units of Orc Biggins, with some experience ranks on all of them. Then 4 units of Savage Orc Biggins.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of an interesting choice, if you ask me, against Bretonnia. And then you have an Arachnarok Queen, Wurzag, and a Goblin Big Boss.
So for the Bretonians, we have one unit of Grail Knights, one unit of Questing Knights, one unit of Royal Pegasus Knights. Seems like he really wanted to get one of each there. And there's 3 units of Peasant Bowmen, no poison arrows or fire arrows or any of those shenanigans, just the regular ones. 2 units of Foot Squires in the back, 2 units of Men at Arms, and a Battle Pilgrim to hold at center, and a nice front line of 2 Peasant Mob who are probably going to die brutal deaths at the hand of this orc frontline, but at least they'll eat a charge, right?
Hopefully.
Then I think there's another. No, there's some Grail Guardians here as well. They're accompanying the Fey Enchanters. Of course, has that nice aura, the favor of the Fey, and the Comet ability.
Yep. So, the Orc army is really, really simple, right? He's just
Mm,
got a bunch of really big he's just got a big blob of orcs. And I mean,
yep,
I guess
pretty
the
much.
idea is that he's gonna run them at the enemy and hopefully kill him.
Yep,
Um,
pretty much.
I gotta
And I'm
wonder
kind of
though.
worried here, to be honest, because few things kill big guns. Actually, nothing kills big guns as quickly as archers, and the Bretonnian player has 3 of them.
Yeah,
And these Savage Orc big guns, they have physical resistance, which is really great, but he's deployed them on the flank, so I think he wants them to fight cavalry that's going to come in. And Royal Pegasus Knights and Grail Knights, as well as these Grail Guardians, all deal magic damage. So they're going to tear right through that physical resistance the
well,
Savage Orcs have.
I was like looking around for the Royal Pegasus Knights. Where did they go? I found them
Yeah,
all the way
Vanguard's
over
point.
here.
Yep,
But
that's
yeah,
where they're at.
I almost feel like it would have been better to invert the positions of the big guns.
Yep,
Have the guys with actually armor to fight against the guys that deal the magic damage.
but it may be a ruse because he does have this Ragnarok Queen, right? And if cavalry comes in to charge these Savage Orc Biggins, which they probably will, because if you see these guys, you just want to charge them with your magic damage dealing units, right? Then the Ragnarok Queen can summon a Spiderling and actually stop the cavalry. And then if the cavalry gets stopped, he may follow that up with something like a Foot of Cork. Does he have that
He
spell?
does
Yeah,
not.
he does have. Yeah, Wurzak actually has Foot of Cork.
Oh, wait, is
So
that? Am I missing or am I misreading the icon? Oh yeah, I am. Okay.
yeah, it's the Foot of Cork. It can do massive damage to cavalry,
Yeah.
especially. But the thing is, of course, if you just run away from it, then it's not going to do much. So we'll see if Xiphos will micro his cavalry well enough to avoid getting crushed.
So I don't know exactly what we're waiting on.
I think Xiphos is still messing with his formation a little bit.
Yeah.
Seems to want perfect positioning. Yep, they're ready, so the battle should be about to start.
Alright, and here we go. So... Oh. Well, he's moving his Savage Orcs and not using, or not moving the other ones. So, you might have been onto something.
And these Royal Pegasus Knights are already coming in, but I guess right now they're just scouting, checking the forest for any Wolf Riders or Spider Riders that may have a Vanguard deployed, but they're not here. Oh, and a Fey Enchantress is going out on her own here. What is she up to?
I don't know, man.
He may want to just deal damage with the aura she has.
What spells does she have?
She has...
How do I unselect Warzag and select the Fey Enchantress? Can't seem to do that.
I'm having the same problem right now, but I can recognize the aura. So she has Earthblood and Regrowth. And right now he's just guiding with her and using her aura to damage the savage biggins that were trying to chase her.
Yeah. Didn't do a lot, but any damage is better than none, I suppose.
Yep, it all counts in the end. Of course, if it gets to a late game scenario where hypothetically the Fey Enchantress is the only one left, then just using that ability won't count as attacking. But we'll tell the players about that if it becomes relevant.
Yep.
Shil appears to have summoned some spider hatchlings to keep the Fey Enchantress away from him, which isn't a bad idea, but it's also kind of a waste of a spider hatchling. Once again, I'm seeing some hesitation from this orc army.
Yeah. I think he wants to try and do something with his archers, and he's concerned about just moving in.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit concerned too if I were Dr. Shil at this point, because these Royal Pegasus Knights are just at his rear and just prowling for an opportunity to swoop down on these rusty arrows. And he doesn't really have cavalry to hold them down if they do come down, so not sure how he's going to deal with that.
He does have Warzag's route.
Oh yeah, indeed.
So
could keep him down with that.
He does have one way to do it.
On any unit. Yeah, I think it might work on any unit.
Yeah, it does.
Although ideally, he would use it to lock down the Fey Enchantress, and then just munch her with the spider.
Yeah.
Because the Fey Enchantress is going in again. Oh, she's actually casting a comment. Let's see if Dr. Shil manages to move in time.
It looks like some of the army's gonna get hit, but not as much as could have. So that was pretty well dodged.
Yeah, that was pretty well dodged. But now the Royal Pegasus Knights are going down on the rusty arrows, and
they just got absolutely wrecked by that charge.
He did use the effigy there, so the Royal Pegasus Knights are now getting stuck, and I think the Fey Enchantress is going to try and save them with a heal. But some of them may actually go down before they get healed. And
yeah, it looks
of course,
like
dead models don't get healed anymore. So these guys, they're gone.
Yeah, a lot of them, or they've taken a huge amount of damage. How many? Have any of them actually died? 3 of them have. I guess a few
Quite
of them.
a few managed to get away, though.
Yeah, a few more of them might live.
This is where cavalry would have really come in handy.
Well, he's still tied down a few of them, so maybe he'll kill off a few more models before
There's like 2 more stuck, and what's happening actually is that the ones that manage to escape keep flying back into combat. So now this group is getting routed, and I do think they're going to come back, but still, that's a lot of damage.
Yep.
Onto a very expensive unit. Now all of the orcs are in a blob, though.
Yeah. Man, that's the best kind of orc army.
Just a big green death ball. And these peasant archers are unprotected and are now getting charged by spider hatchlings and the big boss. So a lot of them aren't going to get their shots off while the greenskins are moving in on them.
Yeah.
And just looking at this Bretonnian main line, a couple of peasants and one battle pilgrim, two men-at-arms with a couple of ranks, they're not going to stand up to this if the archers aren't constantly peppering these orcs.
Yeah. Now, the archers can do a lot of damage if they start shooting. They should probably turn around and do that. He's trying to shoot the Grail Reliquary. A little bit strange. I don't usually see people actually targeting those. Pegasus
It's
Knights
kind
are...
of a waste, to be honest, because the Grail Reliquary has a very small hitbox. The only way you can really kill it is by sending a target unit like an Arachnarok Queen or a big boss that does a lot of damage to a single target at it.
Yeah. The Pegasus Knights came in to attack the Rusty Arrows again. That time it went much better than last time.
Oh, and here a Foot of Gork
Oh.
just destroyed those questing knights. Unfortunately for Dr. Shil, he also kind of wiped out his orc biggins on that flank. Still, I would say that's worth it.
Oh, and a Comet of Cassandora comes in and hits
Yeah.
a huge clump of orcs as well. The
Yeah,
big
those
spells all
savage
around.
biggins, they took a lot of damage. I would say that probably did more damage to Dr. Shil than the Foot of Gork did to Xiphos. And now some of the archers are getting interrupted, but two of them are just firing down onto the savage biggins. And
The Grail
while
Knights
they are
got
winning
rooted.
the main line, they are taking a lot of damage. So Shil really has to do something about these archers. One of them is now engaged by spider hatchlings, thankfully.
And the Fey Enchantress is on the left side, and so far she's... or right, not left side. And so far she's pretty much untouched. But the front line for Bretonnia is completely falling apart. So our orc friend's got that going for him.
Yeah, if you want to win against the orcs, as Bretonnia, I think you really need your archer support to do everything possible and also get your cav in there as quickly as possible, because even battle pilgrims with their 80 leadership are just going to get shredded by biggins. So the clumping by the Greenskins seems to work right. I mean, they actually caught the Fey Enchantress right there, and she's having a close encounter of the third kind with a Wurzag, Goblin Big Boss, and a Ragnarok Queen.
Yeah.
Which is really not where you want it to be.
He did use his effigy already though, so he won't have it for the Fey Enchantress.
Well, it does
If
like a
she-
2 minute cooldown, and then you can use it again.
Yeah, but he used it on some Grail Knights a minute ago.
Oh, yeah, so she's just going to get away now. And she can still heal if she comes back.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit of a concern.
And I
Dr.
mean,
Shil
as well as that frontline fight went, his army is starting to look really battered from all of the many engagements they've gone through now.
Especially that Comet, they were just so clumped up. They're still very clumped up. And now the archers are just firing in here, and another Comet is about to come down. So I think we can see the tide turning here in just a minute.
That Comet
Once again,
hits a
massive
huge
damage.
clump of orcs.
That's the danger of putting all of your units in a clump like that. You can really see the balance of power shifting back in favor of Bretonnia now. They can still heal, right? So
Yeah. They do still have the Queen doing relatively well, but I'm not sure if just having the Spider Queen is going to be enough.
if he wants to win, he really has to kill the Fey Enchantress now, and it seems an effigy just came down on her. Or did it? I think it was just a... No, she's going
She's
to
running,
escape
so-
once again. Most slippery lord in the game, Fey Enchantress. Yeah, now these Royal Pegasus Knights are just doing a number on the Arachnarok Queen. So I think this is going to be a a Bretonnia victory at this point.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Warzag has been fighting a while, and he's not exactly the best fighter.
Nope.
His health is starting to get pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like most of the army is breaking, and Foot of Gork dodged completely, and that's going to be game.
It is a more single-player focused game, definitely, but
yeah, I mean,
so
Bridgeburner in chat says the Total War was never made with competitive multiplayer in mind, and
yeah, that's true.
That might be true, right? But a lot of competitive games have come into existence, or like their big competitive scenes have come into existence when they weren't initially designed for that. Like, I mean, like nowadays we have the esports,
Brood
right?
War.
Yeah. Nowadays we have like the esports, right, with the giant tournaments and tons of money and all these professionals playing and casting and organizing it. But like, you know, 5 years ago, 8-10 years ago, nothing was designed with that in mind, right? And we still have all of the super competitive games that we have today.
Yeah, I mean, look at I mean, maybe it's not the most played game, but Age of Empires 2, there's still a ton of people playing this game, even though it came out years ago and was also designed more for the single player, I think.
Yeah.
And the original StarCraft and the expansion Brood War still has a pretty huge following, as far as I know, especially in Korea.
They released a new update for Brood War just recently, and you can actually download the game for free now. I've been thinking about doing that and doing some streams of it.
But yeah, is it the HD edition?
The HD edition's released in the summer, but they're doing an update.
Oh, it's not out yet.
Yeah, they're doing an update to the normal game to make it compatible with the HD edition when it releases, so that you can just play old Brood War or like HD Brood War, cool, and still play with the same people.
So looks like we have some Vanguard deployment going on over here. One unit of Wild Riders from Dr. Shil is actually deployed on top of 2 units of Wild Riders from Xiphos.
That is very unfortunate.
And apart from that, Dr. Shil is bringing some Blade Guard with Starfire shafts, a Waystalker, 4 War Dancers, a Glade Lord, the male version it is, on foot with a Spell Singer, and they have a big 3-man buddy with them, and then some Treekin as well. 2 units in total. So what is Xiphos bringing?
Well, he's got himself some Weight Watchers, just the one it looks like. 1 unit of normal Glade Guard, 2 Treekin, a Glade Lord. Is that the male version or female? Can't tell. I think it's the female version. 2 Eternal Guards with shields. We've got our little...
Yeah, it's the female version.
Wild Rider.
It's always hard to tell, right?
Yeah. We got our little Wild Rider engagement over here that went wonderfully for our friend Xiphos. Oh, they're getting shot now.
Gold just out of the window.
Yeah.
Instantly. And I mean, he's getting some damage back on these Wild Riders, but it just doesn't make up for losing that Wild Rider.
Yeah. And lastly, for Xiphos' army, he's got a War Dancer and 2 Wildwood Rangers. So my first question here, actually, is why do you think Dr. Shil goes for Glade Guard with Starfire shafts in this matchup? I don't know that the armor piercing damage is super necessary.
No, because basically the only thing they are really good against is 3 units, and while Xiphos does have 2 of them, I think the Wood Elves have strong enough anti-large units that can take care of those, and Treekin typically aren't such a big threat anyway because they don't deal a lot of damage.
And we got Wild Riders charging into the Glade Guard.
Yeah, that's going to be ugly. And if he had the other Glade Lord, like the female one, he could have just netted those guys down and shot them to pieces.
Yep.
But he doesn't, and instead he chose to go for the Glade Lord with the melee aura, but he's not currently supporting the main line, so he's not getting a lot of advantage from that melee aura.
Where's this Spellsinger? Oh, there it is. I was looking around for it, man. Thought it died
It's
or
on
something.
the right flank where
Yeah.
Dr. Shil's forces are still looking kinda strong, but everywhere else is just being overrun
Yeah.
entirely.
And Xiphos chose to bring a Branch Wraith instead of a Spellsinger, which I like a bit more, honestly, because the Branch Wraith can have the melee aura that the male Blade Lord can have. So you can
It's
bring the
also a bit more
female Lord.
tanky. The only thing that, well, the Spellsinger has as an advantage is that she does get a passive army-wide or map-wide AoE,
Yeah.
you know, healing that whenever she casts a spell, and she also has Arcane Conduit. But I can definitely see an argument being made for bringing the Branch Raid as well.
Man, that game was over so fast. It was the instant the game started, a unit of Wild Riders died, and it was like, it was all over.